Well, hello, hello, hello. It's Wednesday, and y'all know what that means. That means it is time for Boss Talk with Sean Loretta.
One of a kind. One of a kind.
Go ahead and put in the chat where you tuning in from. Yes, that's that. Thank you. And a hey to y'all out there. Shout out to the Boogie Down Bronx. I love it. I am so excited. Hello, and thank you for tuning in. I believe you must be a first-time Boss Talker. So I want to ask you to go and don't forget tonight to subscribe. Hit that little button, subscribe. And we would love to see you more often. So let me just tell you, I am leaving in the morning, headed for the New York. Yes, and I was going to talk about that because I'm so excited. I get to go to New York, and this is perfect for tonight's show because many of you know that my sister is a real life actress, and I'm so excited to be able to go and see her on Broadway do Pearly Victorious, and that is Vanessa Bell Calloway. So shout out to you, sis. We're on our way to see you. We're right up there in the very front row, and so I cannot wait. I haven't been to Broadway in I don't know how long. And I don't know if you all know, but I used to live in New York. I did 17 years in New York. I'm very proud to say I am a graduate of NYU. And so I'm very excited to be able to get to New York and show my sweetheart the city and some of my favorite haunts and go and check out some new things that I haven't been able to see yet. So we got somebody else in here tonight. Hello, Leon. Thank you for tuning in all the way from El Cerrito, California. Thank you for tuning in to Boss Talk. That's bold, one of a kind, sensational superstars, and that's you. So it is Wellness Wednesday. And so I really need to take a moment, y'all, and really lean into some wellness. It's been raining, and I know that we need the rain, but the rain sometimes can change your mood. And I have had 1,050,000 things to do. And so I have been really challenged and tasked with getting a lot done in a short period of time in a lot of different directions. Can anybody out there relate? Can you relate to such a thing? I literally have been managing my businesses and organizations and some personal stuff. And I just need a minute to woosah, y'all. And we're going to get to talk a little bit about that. What industry are you guys in? And let me know if sometimes you know that you have to take a minute to wind it down and get yourself back to an even space. And I call it my place of peace. And I even love that that's interesting. My therapist's office is Eve's place of peace. And I really crave more of that in my life. That is one of my mores for the whole idea of more in 24. So Leon and S dot, if S dot, if you want to go ahead and put your name in there for me. But what are you craving more of in 2024? And what are you committing to uh engaging in more, or calling more into your lives than you had in 2023? Some of the things that we may have done, we sometimes make mistakes, and we have fiascos sometime, and they take a lot to lean in and get over them, but we learn from those things. And so what are some lessons that you all have learned? I have learned the lesson of the necessity of delegation, and that even sometimes means adding some dollars and cents to that delegation. So I've learned that in my business, I cannot be the chief, the cook, and the bottle washer, that I need to hire and delegate some of those tasks, especially the ones that I don't like to do, therefore am not good at. So that's been my great big old giant lesson, that I bring into 24 with a difference, like a different way of looking at it, a different way of engaging with it, and making a new commitment to myself and my business and those that I serve. So I'm really excited about that for myself in 2024. So, yeah, go ahead if you if you can take a minute and just go ahead and share with us what you are looking forward to more of in 2024. So, I don't know if y'all read the show notes, but I'm very excited about tonight's show and about my guest. So, a lot of times, um, I do all kinds of things. Like, we do creative things, we do mental health things, and all of that. But I love when they all kind of converge and come together in that way. And we're going to talk about how those things sort of manage to connect and how to navigate outside of that. So the title for tonight's show is "When the World Doesn't See You: Black Women Telling Their Own Stories." And I think that is very important that we look at that, because we get to do that. And sometimes we don't want to do that. We don't show up in ways that allow us to do that. And so we're going to talk about what all of that looks like, because sometimes the doors aren't open for us, and we have to sometimes kick them down. So I want to tell you about my beautiful and amazing guest tonight. So her name is Tamiyka White, and she is an actor, director, writer, stand-up comedian, and producer. Now, her stage credits include Alabaster, Salome, 10 Poems About One Thing, When Stars Align, Doubt, The Bluest Eye, A Raisin in the Sun, one of my favorites, Miss Witherspoon, The Crucible, Jar the Floor, and Before It Hits Home. She also has done short films, so effing funny, The Boots, White Rabbit, The Saint, The Fifth Ward. In her writing, she has written 3 episodes of Complaints Anonymous, which is an anthology of original poems, 3 television pilots, 2 short films, and a play, White Whales. Also, she has done a solo show. She is currently writing a short film that is inspired by a childhood event. Tamiyka can be seen in recent installments of Apple's commercial series, also The Underdogs, Swipe Mac Apple at Work, TJ Maxx campaign, and StubHub. Now, she also has dabbled in directing, and she recently made her film directorial debut with the short film Damon, A Quiet Pause for the Rest of Your Life. Also, Othello, Romeo and Juliet, and Taciturn Beings. Now, she has appeared as a stand-up comedian, and she has done that at the Comedy Store, Hollywood's Improv, and the Ice House. Now, we'll get to hear more about Miss Tamiyka, and I want to bring her out here for you to get to know her right now. So, without another word from me, please welcome to Boss Talk, good Good afternoon, good evening, Tamiyka White. Yes.
Ah, hey,
Hey, hey.
Sean. Hey, good evening. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, yes. Well, Tamika, welcome, welcome. I know that you have been a guest on Boss Talk, or not a guest, you have been an audience member on Boss Talk when you came in to watch your good friend Lillian Lee. And she recommended you highly. And so I'm very excited to get to have this opportunity to chat with you tonight.
Yes,
So
likewise. And shout out to Lillian for that endorsement. Thank you.
absolutely, absolutely. So now let's take a look at what Leon said. He said, "I'm looking forward to more abundance of creative opportunities, particularly auditions." Yes, yes, indeed. And we're going to stand in agreement with you on that, Leon. And S. Dot is looking forward to having more time for fellowship with the little tribe that she's come to realize that she has. And that is so important, so important. And she is giving you some shout outs there.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
so tell me, I guess I want to first kind of dig in. Oh, S. Dot is your niece. She said,
yeah,
"Hey,
yeah. I just
Auntie."
trying to. Yeah. Thank you.
I
Thank
love
you.
it. I love it.
From the
Well,
boogie down, baby. Yes. From.
well, I want to check in with you and first find out like what brought you into this creative space? Because some of us were like born, knowing that this is what we wanted to do. Did you always know that you were a creator of sorts?
Yes. Um. I knew since I was 7. Like
Uh,
that I wanted to do it. Like late night one time watching, I believe it was Ann Miller on television, and I'm like, what is this woman doing? But then, that was I liked whatever that was feeling, but who really confirmed it for me was Debbie Allen. So
oh,
when I saw her do, I believe it was Sweet Charity or whatever that was. But either way, I love the feeling. So ever
now,
since I was like 7, I knew I wanted to do it. Yeah.
so you caught Debbie Allen doing Sweet Charity?
I did see some before. I don't know, and maybe I'm referencing the wrong, but I just saw her on this rooftop, and she was
Ah,
dancing in this beautiful dress, and I don't know if it was Sweet Charity but then I saw this woman, this black woman, and I'm like, well, wait a minute, and not that I had like what was happening to me, the feeling that was coming over me was just pure joy and excitement and awe, and she was beautiful and just being electrifying and magnetic, and I just like, oh, I want to do that. I want to make people feel like that,
ah,
maybe not
so you
by
had a
dancing,
feeling.
right, but I love how she made me feel, and I want to be able to do that. So I started trying to figure out what that was going to be, and it ended up being acting for me. Yeah.
Ah, I
Yeah.
love that. I love that. And so how did you kind of get into it? Now, did you have the support of your family?
Yeah, my mom. I created my mom. My mom was a dancer, and she also was a musician. She played the French horn, and of all instruments. But yeah, and she was very encouraging of that. So it actually took me to my very first audition when I was little. So
Mhm.
with little community theater, like she would find it like in those like little newspapers in the back, and like, oh, they got an audition, baby, so I go and things like that. But it was also through the library. But she gave me my first, I got my first library card, and took my little trips to the library, and then just started reading, because I read at an early age, like way before even going to school. Like she and my older sister taught me how to read. So just getting in those worlds, and the imagination expanding and opening up, and like, oh, I don't know what this is, but I like it, and didn't know it was called creativity then, but I was, this is what I want to do. I want to do this thing that's making me feel explorative and imaginative and
Mhm.
adventurous, and just making me happy all at the same time. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, I love
So praise
it.
my
I
mom
love
on that.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is so good. Now, do you have siblings?
I am the third of 5, Sean Lorray. I am the third of 5. I'm from Houston, Texas originally. So shout out to H Town. Um,
Okay.
Yeah, third war, baby. And we pretty much in our own right were some creativity was always
Kind of.
seeping through. And that kind of did. I mean, my sister was like more into fashion, so I put on skits for my family. I mean, what who didn't, right?
Right,
Um,
right. Did you ever do
put
the
on
hairbrush singing with the hairbrush?
Oh yeah, I was with a hairbrush. We were singing, way before Mr. Townsend's Five Heartbeat scene. I was like, yeah, let's get in there. We were putting on shows. We putting on fashion shows. My sister and I used to have this show, this game that we used to play that we played for hours. And the running joke with our mom was like, I forgot I had kids. Y'all was in there for like hours, and it was called Girls. And girls went everywhere. Girls went in our imagination. We were kind of like pre-dynasty in our mind.
Oh, I
We were
love it.
these high-rise, high executive business women, and we had a whole bunch of like leftover telephone books and old telephones. So clearly, we're making moves, we're making business deals,
I love
and
it.
we're traveling the world. And my sister and I, but she would put these little outfits together, or like shoulder pads in the 80s growing up, right?
Mhm. Right,
That
right.
whole fashion. Right, the big hair. So it was
Oh,
all of that, the makeup, the costumes. And we did fashion shows and sketches and little talent shows as a family. So yeah, it was we were never far removed from, trying to
the
create something.
artistic.
And
Yes, I
right,
love that. I love that.
yeah.
So I want to take care of a little housekeeping right now because I
Mhm.
see that there are some of your lovely friends and they are in house. And so we
I
want
love
to
it.
get them out of the inside back there, Mr. Madison and Leah. And I just put up the YouTube link. So if you would go there, if you go to YouTube and type in Boss Talk LA, you'll be able to go into the regular chat because you're chatting in the private chat so we can't see it, and you're also in the studio and we need to have you outside of the studio. So I think they got a wrong link somehow. So Mr. Dale and Leah, if you could grab that link right there. Hi. And it's BOSS Talk LA, Boss Talk LA. And if you go to YouTube, you'll get it there. I can also let me see what else I can do to get y'all. Because if you want to chat and you do not have a an account on YouTube, you won't be able to chat. So in case you are Facebook folk and LinkedIn folk, let me do this. I can give you direct links. How you like me now?
Mhm.
Because
But
I
that's
be
what a
love.
boss does. But that's what a boss does, right?
That's what a boss does, girl. You got that right. So now let's see if we can get these up properly. And if they're going to be a little bit messy, well, they're a little bit messy, but you can separate them. That's the direct link to YouTube, the LinkedIn, and the Facebook links. So you can go ahead and go on there. So I'm gonna try to remove you guys from here. I don't want to kick you out of the studio. Maybe I can get my producer to kind of help with that because there. Okay, Leah found her way out. I'm on YouTube,
Yeah.
and she said it connected her. That is hilarious. I don't
Yes.
know how that glitch happened. Well, I'm going to try to take you out from back here, but it won't even let me. So I'm going to leave well enough quite alone. And there is Dale Guy Madison is a damn
What's up
good man.
there?
Well, there
Yeah,
you go, DGM. Hi,
I love
Tamika
it.
is an amazing scene partner. That's good to know. That's good to hear.
Yep.
So, where did you start out becoming a professional at this work?
The first paid job was home in Houston.
Mhm.
I started right out of college, right after college, and I did my first paid job at the Ensemble Theater, which is the largest Black theater in Houston, if you're familiar with that. So shout out to the Ensemble. It's wonderful
Uh-huh.
work.
Uh-huh.
And so yeah, my first job, and it was directed by, you know, the late Intozaki Shange, so for Color Girls. Yeah, or
Yeah.
yes, right. Ashe to that ancestor,
Yes.
and was a
And
mentor and a friend.
directed by her. That's awesome.
Right, right. And that was my first paid job. I mean, far as like on a professional stage,
Mhm.
and everything else was like, you know, and I didn't mind, you know, even other smaller projects. Obviously, like, you know, they prepared me to some of the more community theater projects. Um, but yeah, that was my first professional job, and yeah, I was like, oh yeah, I get paid for this too. We gonna we gonna make a living at this, and but yeah, but I always kind of, you know, had this idea that it wasn't going to be just acting though. Like it was,
Mm.
yeah, but yeah, that was my first gig that I got paid.
Okay. All
Yes.
right. So you have a shout out, Lillian Lee. She says
Oh,
you're sis. Hey,
well,
hey.
you know, since
Hello,
I'm
Miss
on,
Lady.
yeah, same girl.
Tonight.
Yes.
And Diego, Shakespeare in the Park. Hi, Tamika, our first artistic director. Oh, I love it. You got your peeps coming in. I love that.
Yeah, I got my
Thank
people in there.
you.
My people.
Thank
Yes, thank
you.
you.
And so you said that you recognized that it wasn't going to just be acting. So tell us about that. Like what was it in you that made you know that?
Well, you know, I kind of, you know, way before I actually ran my own theater, when I was in the fourth grade, I wrote my first play called The
Mm.
Dancing Girl. And you know, you know, it was all, you know, very cutting edge, and you know, basically about this young girl that wants to go and, you know, she's gonna dance. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna be a dancer. You know,
Okay, okay.
maybe I ripped it off from Gypsy and didn't know it. But anyway, no, so I started, I was always, you know, because I'm reading, right? My mom, this is my mom's doing. She's, you know, she's got me hooked on these words and this literature and this poetry. And then
Yeah.
I'm like, and I'm loving what these words are doing. And then I'm also writing these plays. So by the time, you know, that's in the fourth, fifth grade. So fast forward right after high school, you know, in college, I get married. Wasn't like something I planned to do, but it happened, and I married it. My husband at the time had a theater company that he created at when he was a sophomore at Prairie View A&M University, and it was Black theater, and he wanted to create that. He wanted to produce that, and I was like, this makes sense. This makes sense to me. Because if I, you know, like we build this, and of course, you know, he explains the vision to me and what he was going to do, and it was like it was like no other thing that I think I ever heard. So I was excited either way, but my mindset was I'm going to always work. But prior to even that, while I'm in my freshman year at Prairie View, I am learning how to do everything. Because if you're in the theater, if you're a theater major, you're not just, you know, acting. You got to know how to build a set. You got to know how to do costumes. You got to know how to, you
Yes.
know, if you're traveling a little troupe like we were, you got to do your own hair and makeup. So it was
Right.
like, let me understand how, like, it's almost like, how the sausage is being made in this factory, right?
Right. Yeah.
We
And you
got,
not only have to build that set, you have to know how to strike it.
and you know how to break it down. You got to know
That's
how to break it down. And now, of course, you know, you being cute. I'm an actress. You know, how dare you, sir? Type of attitude. But I did learn to like, you know, but I did learn how to appreciate, you know, the tools, lighting grids, flats, and lumber, and just appreciate. Like, it takes a team to put this thing together.
Absolutely.
You know, like, you know, you're gonna go see your sister in Pearly Victorious, but it's like who's putting that costume together, who's putting those lights together. So I was always intrigued by how it's all coming together. Because when we walk in as patrons, we just like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. But I love the behind the scenes. So I was a little resistant at first when I did that, but then I started to learn to understand what it is to create things from the ground up, and I was very grateful to my ex-husband for that, and hence kind of lightweight, low-key, a producer is being born. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. Isn't it interesting though that when you go in that route, don't you watch things very differently than
You
previously?
cannot look at it any other way. You're like, okay, now, and then you didn't even, before I even took a directing class, now I'm directing people. Oh, now I'm a choreographer because I've been watching Debbie Allen all this time. So, you know what I mean? I'm looking at Judith Jameson. I can pull this off. I'm taking dance. I'm a dance minor. So you're just like, you're getting together with your friends, not only for scene work, and then there's, oh, there's a review, there's a spring review, there's a this, but I'm like, you did this in high school. You did this in junior high school. You did this in so all you're doing is just transferring these skills. And then by the time you get to, at least for me, I only went to Prairie View for a year, my freshman year. So I transferred to University of Houston, my alma mater. And we work because we're concentrating on really putting all our efforts in building this theater, this Black theater. And things were, and we were making strides. I mean, of course, it's stop and start, starting a business, but then you understand what it is to, you got to pay these. Now we're not just being gypsies anymore. We're not just touring from place to place in the city. Now we need a space. We need some headquarters, right? And we get, but then while you do that, you got to pay the rent. You got to pay the phone bill. Oh, you got to be in.
Let's just hang out in here. Exactly.
Right. It's not just, we're not just hanging out. This is a business. We're a 501c3. And so I started to really understand that and appreciate that. I mean, I'm a self-made grant writer and I'm manager director. Now I become a theater administrator. And then what is it I'm putting all these hats on and understanding by way of what it is to really, have ownership of and I guess before even the term I ever heard of, intellectual property, but you have like how we're being this is ours. We built this and we want and we're focusing on telling our stories because otherwise no one is. So it's just that started to happen for me and way before I even arrived to the official realization. I'm like, oh, you've been a producer for a while.
Yeah, this is what I'm actually doing.
Exactly. I'm creative. I'm always creative. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, Leah says, beautiful sis, and telling people that want nuggets to tune in now. So she is out there promoting. Thank you, girl. Thank you. Thank you.
My publicist.
Dale says, she's such an inspiration. When I first met her, I hired her to teach kids in a summer camp. She left such an impression on those young minds. She made those kids believe in themselves. That is so beautiful. Thank you for sharing that, Dale. I can see and feel the energy just exuding off the screen with you now. So I want to jump into something else. I want to take a little bit of a turn here because we know part of what we talked, what I mentioned in the show notes has to do with when the world doesn't see you, like living in a great big world of entertainment and creativity and all of that. But as a woman of color, particularly a Black woman, a lot of times they're either not telling our stories, they do not see us, we are invisible. Either that or the roles that we get are not the leading lady, but the less interesting friend or the quirky friend, that kind of thing. So we're not that out front person in a lot of mainstream Hollywood, let's say, projects. And I know that one of the things that is something that is a great builder of one's sense of self and all of that is feeling seen and feeling heard. So in an industry where that's not always the case, how do you manage that? Because what I know is, and I said in the title, is that Black women are telling their own stories. So how do you get to that space? How do you manage? And then how do you manage the fact that you must tell your own story or it doesn't get told?
I'm beginning to do it now because it's imperative. My life depends on it, basically. I spent majority of my life and my career, honestly, Sean LeRae, being an audition chaser. right?
Ah,
All
okay.
I've been doing is just trying to get the job because that's, I'm going, and nothing against higher education and training because I'm for it. But, I got into that mindset. That's like, I took it, like, this is what you're supposed to do. You go to college, you get this degree. I tried to get into an MFA program. I wanted to get into a master's program. I didn't get into any grad programs. But so when for me, when I went from Houston and, the theater, because it lasted for 10 years and, life is lifing as it always is.
Yes, it
And the
keeps
divorce
doing
is
that.
fine. It's never going to stop. How dare you? But, but, I moved from Houston to the Bay Area. Shout out to the Bay. You know what it is, right?
Uh-huh.
And I went to American Conservatories. They have what you call a summer training congress. And it was like basically an MFA program in 2.5 months. So after that, since I didn't get into all these grad programs that I applied for, I was like, okay, let's hit the ground running. Let's go and let's do that.
Yeah,
and
sometimes that means let's just go to work.
And let's just go to work. Let's just go to work, right? But in that process of this journey from the first job at the ensemble in Houston to the Bay, sometimes New York, sometimes Chicago, wherever it took me on my journey. Obviously, I'm still on this path. I just been trying to find the job. But in that, something got lost in translation or along the way for me, where I forgot to be the producer and create these opportunities for myself. Because otherwise, like so many of us, and no fault to our own, we're just kind of, again, we're just trained this way. We're still, a lot of us is waiting for the phone to ring. But then after that, it's like, well, how much more waiting can you do?
Right.
You can't do much more waiting. You know what I mean? Because you're not getting younger.
Right.
And so, and you care about this, and yes, we get frustrated, like, man, forget this job, forget this industry, whatever it is.
I'm
more comfortable words for you. But you eventually you'll be like, man, what is up? So you better start writing something. You better start producing something, or you try to find, and find people like-minded. So as the wonderful Issa Rae said, not network up, but network across. And I just started to do that in the last I would say last 5 years. I just I created Black Girl Magic Creative Series, especially here in LA, because then you start looking at where you are in your career individually and where you are in your career. I am about to turn this off. We're live, y'all, but I'm gonna turn this off. Okay, sorry. There we go. And that's what bosses do. Anyway, but
that's what bosses do.
That's what we do. But yeah. So but Black women. And here I am, a Black woman. I love being a Black woman. There's nobody like us on this planet. And yeah, I said it. But but it's like, what am I? If I'm looking at my admirers, and I'm looking at I'm studying this business, the shift of this business. But if it comes down to like all the way from 1990 to boom 2024 into the conversation, and we just had the conversation recently. We've heard it trickle through the internet and through the ethers about the pay gap and the this and the that, or sitting and watching a Hollywood Reporter roundtable with the wonderful Viola Davis and what she had to go through for the Woman King, as a producer. So it's like, you would think this is like, no, we're not doing this, this ain't happening to us anymore. But no, they don't, we're not seen. Because if it's not, like you said, it's like, what am I really supposed, what's my trope? What am I supposed to do? I'm a watch sassy Black, the sassy neighbor.
Exactly.
Then I'm a woman of a certain size. So what am I going to play, a domestic? And yes, ashe to our ancestor, the late Hattie McDaniels, and any, that paved the way. But it's like, eventually I'm going to have to make a way for myself, because no one's coming. No one's coming.
Right.
In the end of the day, no one is coming. So that, and then what you define as me. how do you see me? How do you see it, Tamiyka White? Do I not feel? Do I not have pain? Can I not be considered a leading lady? Can I not fall in love? No, but it's got to be trauma driven. It's got to be swayed. And I get it. It's a part of our. It is a part of our story, but it's not the only story, because at the end of the day,
I think that's the biggest piece right there, because I don't have a problem with us telling the story.
Right.
There are stories in other races where they tell their history and they talk about the trauma from, their past. There is no history like our history.
Exactly.
The thing about that is through that history, it built us into some magnificent human beings.
Absolutely.
Who have taken that story, those crumbs that were given to us, and built mansions from those crumbs, built magnificence, magic, if you will. And, the heart of us and all of that, each and every one of us has a love story. Each and every one of us has a family story, a funny story, an exciting story, a triumph story. But we don't get to tell those stories enough. Every now and then, we might get one. However, our 1 to the million, and then when it comes to award season, we are overlooked. And every now and then we get to get up there and tell our story and invite a conversation for all of us to go amen and high five and hallelujah, sister, like Angela Davis recently getting the honorary Oscar that should have been given to her in the first doggone play.
The building comes over. Right. Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. So I love that you created this organization, and I want to talk more about that, but I want to check in with the Boss Talkers. So Aaron Wood says, Tamiyka always brings it, whether acting, writing, and directing. Was in my very first short film years ago that got into several film festivals. It was her talent. Oh, that's beautiful, beautiful.
I love
Thank you for sharing that, Miss Aaron. And Miss Lillian says, we must continue to write and tell our Black women stories and support. That's the key. Support each other in doing so. Hello, Mr. Seals. Welcome in to Boss Talk tonight. You a little late tonight. Hey, Boss Talk. And let's see. Also, he says, Black, beautiful intelligence, and stronger than Superman, and more beautiful than Wonder Woman. Oh, I love that. I love that. Hey, brother. Alan Shea. A Boss Talk regular, and also soon to be, and we're going to call it all the way into existence, soon to be the mayor of Pasadena. He says, love it. Capture your own movie, your own creator. Don't wait for something to happen. Just make it happen, especially since we are in the social media era with a camera in your hand every day. I love that. That is for sure the truth. So thank you all for weighing in on this. Tamiyka,
yes,
you are obviously a magnet, a people magnet, and I love that. I think I was drawn to you just via your comments in the chat. So here we are tonight, and I'm happy for that. But I want to, and I don't say but in 2024, less of that in 2024, and I want to know more about Black Girl Magic Creative Series. Is that right? Did I get it?
Okay, give this woman a prize, everybody, because she's winning. She's always winning. Yes. I don't know, I don't know if you can see it, but there it is, right there. Boom. Okay.
Let me see the logo again. Come up again.
Yeah, this is here's the T-shirt. Sorry, I don't know. I think I'm doing it there we go. There we go. And you can, Black Girl Magic Creative Series. Yeah. And we're a group of women. We're a group of Black women of a certain age, and we got together in 2017. It was, and just said, it started with a conversation, a phone conversation of this, sisters were checking in and just saying, Lillian was one of them, and Leah was one of them, and I was getting these calls. And then, how we do as Black, we look out for each other, we check in. But some of the conversations were like, the common thread was how we were, certain things were we felt stifled in our creativity, right? We weren't feeling inspired. Maybe, there were some things that were blocking us, and maybe that's maybe it was some mental wellness or whatever the case, life beating us up as always. But we know that we love this. We love being creative. We love telling stories. We love directing and writing and acting. So we gotta. I felt moved, charged. A whisper in my ear from the creator to I gotta do something. Something has to happen and it has to happen with Black women. That's for sure. That I know has to go down. And I just got together and called up a group of women and say, hey, I don't know really exactly what this is going to be. It's not quite shaped or molded or even well thought out. But I know we need to get together and we need to tell some stories. And we need to find out and check in with each other and see how we can we need to put ourselves out there. Because again, no one is coming. It's all about I just stole that recently. I just saw it in the movie. I'm just gonna use that phrase. No one's coming.
No one's coming. No, that Prince that you heard about, that ain't happening. It
ain't happening. So
and look.
Right. And we did we got together in 2017 and we put together and we were still, it took us a minute to kind of get our footing, but then of course the pandemic hits, right? The pandemic hits, and then we get together and we create this web series called Complaints Anonymous, and we put it on Zoom, and we put it on Zoom, and we had a fun. I could not believe what we pulled off, but then again, I was like, yeah, I can, because of how talented we are. We are extremely, because we know how to make these things happen, and I was so proud of us because first everything was Zoom. We don't know we're learning things in real time.
Right.
So basically, the Black Girl Magic Creative Series, we got into some festivals and we're going to submit some more with those. But now we're doing, just last year, our short film, because we do have a series of works. And since we are Black Girl Magic Creative Series, what is our body of work? Well, it's going to be a short film series. We're also about to launch our podcast in the middle. And look for that. That's coming soon in 2024. Trust me, we're doing these things.
Yeah.
And then it's a small group for right now. It's 5 of us, but we're writers, we're cinematographers, we're DPs, we're directors, and we're playwrights and poets, and we're like, let's use these skills and let's make us the star. Let's make us the studio. Let's make us the showrunner. Let's decide. And you may not even know how to do that. I was a self-made showrunner and all of us are executive producers. Every last one of us are getting the credit. So when we are casting you, whoever you are, and ourselves, we're providing these opportunities for ourselves. So I'm very excited what's about to happen and what we're about to introduce to Black Girl Magic Creative Series in 2024. But yeah, we like, no more. We can't be waiting on these people. Let's get together and tell our stories. And I tell you, Chandler Ray, we got some stories within our group, as you already said. And it's like, and even I shout out to my girl Erin, like, who's a wonderful writer. Like, I'm getting into these, like, and what kind of other stories are going to be coming together that's not always going to be, if there's some trauma in there, okay, how am I shaping my childhood trauma a little differently? Because it may be in there, but it ain't got to be, and no disrespect to, everything ain't got to be 12 Years a Slave. And that was a darn good film, you know what I mean? But it's like, we're not just, it's not just that, so we have stories to tell. I'm excited about the stories we're going to share with each other, and also and putting ourselves and coming forward into the spotlight where we deserve and we belong to be, because we are the stars. We are the stars. So Black Girl Magic Creative Series. Follow us. Find out what's going down. It's about to go down. I'm excited. I'm very
excited for you as well. And save a little space for me. I'm a creative too,
I know this.
and I be doing poetry and all of
You know,
that.
we do have an application form if you want to become a member. If you want to become a member,
listen, real time. If I join one more thing, somebody should slap me. Okay, just slap me right, just boom, right
you
there.
gotta pull yourself back. You gotta pull
I put
yourself
myself
back.
back. I like way too many things. Mr. Seals agrees about that Black Girl Magic. He said, I witnessed Black Girl Magic today. Mentally superior, 100%. Hey, speaking of things that I am joined to, the Black Women's Network, my BWN sister here. Hey, sis, BWN is in the house. That is Camilla, who is on, Camilla also on my board. She is the parliamentarian. Leah says, yes. And that goes for so much. Absolutely. That's been talked about tonight. She says, Black women are always creating, taking problems or gaps and turning it into opportunities for purpose and productivity. I love that. And I want to speak on that gap thing. Yeah. So when I think of the gap, that is the space between the last thing that happened and the next thing that is going to happen, maybe. And there's no waiting for the maybe. That gap is where you create something for yourselves and others who you can bring alongside you, nurture, pour into, and all those good things like that. And I love that. And I do have to say, hold on. I do have to say that piece about a woman of a certain age.
Yes. Okay. I'm
in that club. I'm right up in there at the club. And I am loving this space in my life. I really am loving this space in my life. And I love that as black, let's see, hold on. Black Magic Creative Series.
Yeah.
Black Girl Magic Creative Series.
Black Girl Magic Creative Series.
That you are showing our younger sisters who are discovering their magic, the longevity in that magic. Because I think that, you know, as did we too, probably in our younger days, we thought that 25, we were getting old, and 30, we was old and ancient, and 35, oh my God, and so on and so forth. But here now, a member of the 60s club.
Okay.
I think 30, that's a baby. That's a baby. I want to rock him and give him some milk. So please know that I think it's really important that we keep telling these stories so that these young women know that we still have stories. We still are sexy and sexual and beautiful and fashionable and all those things that Hollywood sometimes only attributes to the youth. Right. And so I know if I could have known then what I know now, I wouldn't have known what to do with it.
Exactly.
So hallelujah that we have it now for such a time as this. And that I love that you all are, your women are creating the truth around that space, you know, and allowing that to shine.
And the other beautiful thing about that, on top of that, with being a woman of a certain age, and I agree, because I love, all right, well, this is early 50s, so, you know, do what you got to do. And loving it. And they still don't believe it. I'm like, I know, because Black's on crack. What can I say? But no, it's like, then we're all, because Black people are not a monolith, but none of these women, every last one of us couldn't be more different. So we're coming from all different backgrounds, and I'm like, celebrate. Because, you know, if we don't, who will?
Absolutely.
If we don't, who will? So that's the motto, that's the charge, and still being able to bridge that gap as we build within the group, as we build, because we did have a sister that we lost a few years ago, our ancestor Ella Turin, who was the one who actually created this logo. And, you know, we want to build a scholarship around her, and, you know, and work with young girls. And we're building that. We're in the process of building that proposal as well. So because what we constantly hear is like, oh, it's a young person's game. This industry is a young person game. It's anybody's game. It's anybody's game.
I like
it's anybody's game. So I understand next generation, and I love that, because we want to throw ropes back, forward, and sideways and always build the community. But yes,
Cast
women
that
of a
net.
certain age, as well as our young sisters as well.
Mhm.
And I'm very excited about all the things that I know that we're going to be developing within our programming a Black Girl Magic Creative Series. So yeah, I love that you said that, because that's exactly
Yes.
on
Yes.
the brain here.
We have a shout out from the FNG Experience. Peace to all the Black Goddess Queens listening in and hearing everything you two are saying. Very important consideration. By the way, Auntie, from your niece's man friend. Oh, I love that. Well, thank you, King, for joining us this
Thank you.
evening.
I
Love it.
love y'all. Thank you.
And Mr. Seal says, this guest talks with a lot of energy. She's a visionary, and I can see she's going very far.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
continuing on that journey. So speaking of that, we are drawing to the end of the conversation, and I really have enjoyed chatting with you tonight. Thank you for all the rich nuggets that you have dropped up and through here this evening. But I'd like to know, what are some of the things on the horizon for you personally? Because I know that you're doing the Black Girl Magic creative series. But what are some things that Miss Tamiyka White is up to in the near future?
Well, yeah, Black Girl Magic Creative Series, real quick. We have our short film Expected Unexpected, so we're just doing our final edits on that. So look for that screening. It is coming soon. Tamiyka White, that'd be me.
That's you,
Mwah.
girl.
Right. No, well, I have been cast recently. I mean, because how we all know we just came off on strike, y'all. So thank God for a job. Thank you, Jesus.
Right.
But and truly blessed and highly favored on that, for real. But no, I just got cast. I'm a company member at the Road Theater in North Hollywood, and I just been cast in the play High Maintenance, and it's directed by Stan Zimmerman and written by Peter Ritz. So that's going to be going up in April. And so that's the most recent thing. But yeah, I'm writing a short film about a childhood event, and that was very a friend. Well, again, Erin inspired me. My girl Erin said, "Girl, you better write that story," and I'm writing that story. So writing my scripts, working on my pilots. I'm gonna get back on the mic and for stand up. So look for dates on that. Because that has to happen as well. But the pandemic shut it down. But you ain't gonna be holding down a girl much longer, though.
Come on now.
Okay. But no, but just continue to audition and just be cheerleaders and supportive of all, steal it from me. So I'm rooting for everybody Black. Just rooting for everybody Black. And all mankind. But yeah, but look for that play at the Road, and I'm very excited about that as a new company member. And maybe and some other stage readings that I just got tapped for, but nothing official. So we're just waiting to finalize, and we're claiming it right now here on Boss Talk LA. Okay.
Yes. Debut it. Talk about it. So Sister Yvette says she loves the conversation. Hey sis, thanks for tuning in. My fellow licensed marriage family therapist in the house. And hey, Sister Connie, all the way from South Carolina, says, we are women of a certain age, and God made us amazing. Celebrate that we exist and that we are beautiful, creative human beings. Let's keep inspiring each other. I love my boss talkers. I do. Yes. And so I want to get this up for you. And if you're wondering who Living Love Pathways to Holistic Healing is, that would be me. That is my therapy organization. And I want you all to go ahead and take that link and go over there. Is that Instagram? Is that everything? That Black Girl Magic Creative series?
Black Girl Magic. Yeah, follow us, please. Follow us. Follow me. Go to Black Girl. It's long. Black Girl Magic Creative Series. That we're on IG. Tamiyka, my name. Tamiyka White. Yes, spelled a little different. That Y might throw you off, but it's TAMIYKA. Follow me. I follow you back. And all of our links are in our bio, as far as our website. We subscribe to us here to me and Black Girl Magic on YouTube. Follow us and just stay tuned, because it's all about you want to go fast, go along. You want to go far, go together. So we're all about that.
And
community.
are there things on the, I'm sorry, are there things on the YouTube that they can see in some of the work that you
Yeah,
guys
you can see, yes, on for Black Girl Magic. If you want to get caught up and watch all 6 episodes of Complaints, our website series, Complaints Anonymous, you can
I love
see
it.
my work on my channel, Tamiyka White. The recent things that I've done. Unfortunately, we got canceled. Rap, if you know Miss Issa Rae's show. 2 seasons, but I was recently in that last year. Well, it just aired this year, so there's my work is there, and my website and everything is on all of those links, so you can find me. And I'm all about building and networking
Yes.
across, y'all, because
Yes.
it may be a financier out there that want to underwrite, my next project, because and you can write
That's
those
right.
checks personally to me.
That's right. Come on now. Send those to P.O. Box.
Right, make payable too.
Yes,
But no, we just want to build, and we want to and just grow and learn who you are as well as you learn who we are, because we're in
absolutely.
it together. Yeah,
Great.
absolutely. Yeah,
Well,
follow me on.
Daniel says he is team #team Tamiyka all the way. Miss Lillian shouting us out. She said, by the way, Sean Ray, I want those glasses and shirt.
See,
With
I
the
told you. Those,
you
that's
got
a conversation.
those.
These glasses, girl. Come on down,
They're
sis.
my signature. See, there they are.
I love
Boss
it. I love it.
Yes, winning. Absolutely. We do love it. Well, Tamiyka, give me the 30-second version of what it is that you want to leave the boss talkers with. What is that thing?
I I just want you to know that this is your time. Don't play it small. Don't apologize, and own the room, own your space, and make it about you. It may come off as being selfish, but it's okay to be selfish, because at the end of the day, it's all about self-preservation. So just take care of you so you can take care of others, and let
Absolutely.
people know that you belong and you deserve to be there.
Yes. And just a quick piece to that wellness piece. If you are not taking care of yourself, you cannot take care of others. So it is your responsibility, if you consider yourself to be one who is willing to and tasked with giving back, that you start with you.
Amen.
So I would be remiss as a licensed marriage family therapist if I did not mention your mental wellness is your overall wellness. Holistic healing takes precedence over everything. So do know that. Leon says Road Theater Company in North Hollywood is awesome, and go and see Tamiyka in High Maintenance. Ooh, I love it. I love it.
I owe these people money. I owe them all money for being published.
For loving on you like this. That's it. Well, listen, y'all, this has been Boss Talk with Sean Ray and my amazing, beautiful, wonderful, talented, and creative guest, Tamiyka White. You know where you can find her, as we have put it up. If you're looking for me, if you want to do a little therapy, please find me. It's coaching first. So if you want to do a little coaching, find me at livinglovedcoaching.com. I'm a transformational performance coach. I will help you move past all the things that keep you stuck. And be on the lookout, because soon I will be doing an all-day master class called Take It Up a Notch. And that is for those of you who want to take whatever it is in your life up a notch, whether that be professionally, emotionally, mentally, personally, all the things, because it's all holistic. It's the whole person. So you can be a fantastic boss businesswoman if you are not whole, healed, and well. So holla at your girl. If you need some down-home therapy right there, get at the root of the problem. Couples, children, all of the things, livinglovedhealing.org. And you can find me if I have openings, and if not, one of my amazing staff. Shout out to Felicia Hunt, Kim Rogers, and Renata Lavotman. And also on Facebook, I'm at Living Loved Healing, and I do have a nonprofit in honor of my late amazing husband, William Joseph Brinkley, and that is called the WJB Center. That is the William Joseph Brinkley Center for Cultural Affirmation, where we affirm all of us because it starts with us, y'all. So this has been Boss Talk. We love you. We need you. So go ahead and subscribe, hit that bell so you know when we go live, and please follow us in all the places. So that's it for tonight. Thank you, Tamiyka. This has been Boss Talk, y'all, and that's bold, one of a kind, sensational. Peace and shalom, y'all. You know what to do. Live love and jam it out with us.
One of a kind.
I want to shout out Wayne Lindsay and Alana Lindsay for this fabulous theme song. Thank you and good night. Mwah.